My name is Elazar Hernandez. Today what we're going to be talking about is your digital stamp. Basically your digital footprint. What is it that you leave behind? What is it that everybody knows about you? Things that people you didn't even know can get, information that they can get a hold of pretty much. I hope you learn a lot today. What is your digital stamp? It's pretty much information that's left on the internet from any kind of social media or website that you might use. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any social media site, or really any employer website, information that can be used by a lot of people in many different ways, good and bad. Why is there a digital footprint? I mean, there's a lot of companies that use this footprint in order to get sales, what sells best in what region, what kind of employees they want to look for, different things like that, just basically what they want to look for in an employee with the right mindset. Who leaves a digital footprint? Basically anybody on the internet all over the world. When we're looking at footprints, it can be somebody from Russia, somebody from Mexico, somebody from Canada, really anywhere in the United States. As long as you're using the internet, you're leaving that footprint. Now, social media is the big footprint. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, Foursquare, or even LinkedIn, you're leaving that footprint. It's not necessarily a bad footprint, but sometimes it's information that you can get out that you don't want to be out, sometimes a little bit more personal than normal. What is a gray area when it comes to what's right and wrong as far as a footprint? There's a lot of information out there. It could be your height, your weight, your age, your date of birth, but it could be as simple as just your basic needs, wants, what you shop for, different things like that. It's things we have to look out for. Now, what's appropriate? There's a gray area when it comes to what's appropriate. Sometimes it could be right for one person, wrong for another. It does not necessarily mean that it's right or wrong. It's just the way that you take it is what's really mattering. Now, are you safe? There's two ways to look at it. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. As long as you're using the internet, you're leaving that footprint. It's not necessarily saying that you are safe, but I mean the best way to do it would probably be to go on trusted websites such as Facebook, Twitter. Now, who's going to see this information? It could be different. There's a lot of websites that sell this information. There's a lot of websites that use this information for their own benefits. It just depends on what the website is and what type of information you're using on it. Now, when it comes to pictures, who can see these pictures? What kind of pictures are you posting online? What is appropriate to be posted online? It just really depends on the pictures that you post, the people that you have as friends, and the people that can view those pictures. Now, is social media, leaving that footprint, an okay thing to do at work? Some people can argue that it is, some people can argue that it isn't. It's not necessarily saying that it's good or bad, but sometimes it can come back to bite you. Now, when you post online, there's not necessarily saying that there's a way to turn around, but normally there's no way to take it off of the internet. Something that you post online is pretty much permanent online and can be viewed by anyone at any time. So be careful what you post online. Now, who to trust when it comes to your footprint? I would say stick with websites like Facebook, Twitter, and really only allow your friends to view those pictures. Some people allow other information. Some websites gather information without our knowledge. It really just depends on your use of the internet and what pages you search. Now, what's your plan when it comes to social media? That's one of the biggest footprints that we have. Is it something that somebody can see, something that's appropriate, something that maybe somebody we don't want to see can see certain things and maybe get us in trouble? Really just depends on that person and the situation. Now, when it comes to work, we use social media all the time. It's not saying that it's good or bad, but sometimes it can affect us in different ways that we never might have thought of, especially now compared to a few years ago where social media is getting a lot bigger. Some people say that maybe social media should be left apart from work. Business and work, personal, it's all separate. But some people like to combine the two. Some people have really good friends at work. It depends on the person's situation and that specific person in general. When it comes to meetings, there's certain things that can be publicized, certain things that shouldn't be publicized. But all in all, your employer is allowed, for the most part, to look at your social websites and see, if you're a potential candidate for to be an employee for them. Sometimes you post things that you really don't like to. It happens to all of us. Just be careful what you post, who's able to see it, and really be careful at every time knowing that whatever's on the internet is going to stay on the internet and it's really not going to come off. Now, what we have to do is pretty much be able to say who's on our websites, who's on our social media, be able to see what we want them to see. Maybe don't post anything we wouldn't want them to see. Different things like that can have an effect on how people view you, especially as a potential employee. Now, the one thing that we have to do is just be careful of what's going on. Be aware of who's viewing you, what it can do in your future, and really what we have to say about it. This has been Elazar Hernandez. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you very much.